Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about hollow points versus full metal jacket for everyday carry. Okay, a couple of points we're going to be going through. Practice with the ammo that you carry. Expect to miss, expect to move, expect to over penetrate. Okay, expect to defend yourself in court with regards to everything, including why you chose that particular ammunition. Okay, so let's go through this list. Practice with the ammo that you're actually carrying. Very common thing, people will practice with target ammo, full metal jacket because it's cheaper, but they're gonna carry hollow points. The problem with that, I see two problems when I'm training people on that. Right, the first problem I see is that they have barely shot any hollow points through that gun. Right, maybe they've shot half a magazine. All right. Normally when I'm training people for self-defense, I tell them, meet me at the gun range with the ammunition that you plan to carry. So in many cases, they're shooting that ammunition for the very first time. So they're shooting it, and now all of a sudden they're getting jams, okay? Um, Usually some type of a feeding problem because the edges of the hollow point are catching the feeding ramp. It might be compounded with the grip, all right? But they weren't having that. Maybe there is a problem with their stance or a problem with their grip, but they weren't having that problem with the full metal jacket because it was a little bit more forgiving. But now that they're shooting the hollow points, now that problem it is presenting itself, right? So they're jamming up the gun. Okay. The second problem I see is that when they're shooting, I watch them shoot the full metal jacket, and they're like this, poof, 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 right? Then I'll have them shoot the hollow points, and they're like this, boof, boof, boof. Okay, they're not used to that extra recoil, right? The hollow points are usually some plus P. They're usually at the higher end of the, as far as power goes. They're not used to that. So now they, with women, their hands are coming apart. With the guys, they're having a harder time getting back on target. They're basically just not used to it. Not that they can't get used to it, but they're not used to it. Okay. So that's why it's really important to carry, practice what you intend to carry. Okay. Now, I shoot lots of steel case, right? I buy that by the thousands. But on my carry gun, okay, I only shoot that carry gun with brass. Okay. And the brass that I use is just full metal jacket. Now the reason why I use full metal jacket, okay, is because even with this carry gun, I do a lot of shooting. Okay, I do lots, a lot of shooting, and there's no way that I could continue to do that amount of shooting if I was using hollow points. Okay, so it makes sense for me to just use brass full metal jacket and continue to practice more with the gun, and know that the gun's going to be reliable, and know that I can hit my targets. Okay, now if you choose to put hollow points in your carry gun, you got to practice a lot with it, and you should only be shooting hollow points in that gun. Okay, those are my thoughts on that. Now, I want to talk about expect to miss. Okay, because a lot of times people are talking about the reason why the reason why they want to carry hollow points is because if they shoot the threat, they don't want the bullet to go through the threat and hit the innocent bystanders behind it. Okay. Well, here's the thing. In a real self-defense type of situation, you should expect to miss. Right. First of all, it's not going to be just coming out of the holster. Present and shoot. There might be some movement involved, running to cover. There might be some grappling involved, some nervousness. You might be caught off. You might be surprised. So expect to miss. Okay, so it's not. Don't worry about the bullets that are passing through your threat. Worry about all the other bullets that are not even hitting the threat and are going all around it. And ending up someplace back there. Okay. Right, so you have to factor that in. Now, next item over there is expect to move, right? So let's say look the first target over there, right? The one that looks like a little stop sign, right? That's my threat, okay? I want to hit that target, but behind that target is something I don't want to hit, right? There's another person behind that target. So this person is now presenting a deadly threat to me. What are my choices, okay? my first choice is maybe to move to, move to cover, right? Move to cover, get behind something, rather than immediately think about, returning fire. If I have to return fire, right, and I see that there's something behind the threat that I don't want to hit, move. So what I did is I moved, I changed my angle so that if I missed, I wouldn't hit the threat that's behind the target. Now, the thing that you have to consider, the target that's behind this first target over here, think of that as your child, right? Would you take that shot if your child was behind this person that's a deadly threat to you? Would you take that shot? Would you take the shot just because you have hollow points in your gun, right? You have that much confidence that the hollow points are gonna go through, are gonna get to the threat, and first of all, you're gonna even be able to hit the threat, and at that point, do not over penetrate. Because I've seen plenty of videos where they did tests and they got more penetration than they expected. Okay, but I wouldn't even consider that part. I'm just thinking, hey, under this stressful situation, there's a good chance I'm going to miss, and I might have to take multiple shots. So moving is the first thing that comes to mind. Move to get behind cover, and then also move to change your angles as you need to. Okay. Now, one of the benefits of me always training on a three-dimensional range is I'm constantly considering angles, right? Right here in this spot, I can shoot 360 degrees, not a problem. But in other parts of this location, I can't shoot 360 degrees, right? So I have to be aware of what direction I'm shooting in. How high are the backstops in certain areas? What angle am I shooting from and to, right? Am I shooting down? Am I shooting up? Am I shooting, So these are things that I'm constantly considering. So that's actually a major part of training. If you're always changing on a two-dimensional range where you're always shooting in one direction forward, never even drawing from a holster, okay, you're not thinking about what's behind your target. You're not thinking about moving yourself to get better angles. So that's an important part of training, okay? Expect to miss, expect to move, expect to over penetrate. I don't care if you got hollow points. I don't care if you got full metal jackets. Assume that everything is going to pass through the target. Assume that everything's going to miss regardless of how good you are, okay? And the next thing I'm going to bring up with regards to hollow points versus full metal jacket, if this ends up in court, okay, and you get a prosecutor like the one that Rittenhouse had, right? Because here's the thing with prosecutors, no matter what you do, if they decide to come after you, right, because they see you as a political opportunity, right? If they decide to come after you, if you use, let's say, full metal jacket, right, like Rittenhouse did, the prosecutor is going to bring up, why'd you use full metal jacket, which is likely to over penetrate. Okay. Likewise, I've heard of other cases where people used hollow points, and the prosecutors brought up, this person, why'd you use hollow points? Did you use it so that you could absolutely make sure that you murdered this person? Okay. So no matter what you use, it's going to come up in court. The question is deadly force required, or was it not required? Right. That's why you got to have a good lawyer, right? That's going to steer the discussion back to, was deadly force required or was it not required? That's what it's really got to come down to. And I think that the defense of, I moved, or, of you being able to move or trying to get behind cover, I think that's going to be a lot more important than what type of ammunition you used. Okay. So those are my thoughts on full metal jacket versus hollow points. I have shot hollow points. I have not shot enough of them, right? And by enough, I mean thousands of them. I have not shot thousands. In fact, I can't even say I've shot hundreds. In fact, maybe I probably have shot a few hundred hollow points, but not on any one specific gun. So I haven't shot enough hollow points so that I know what it's going to do in my carry gun. I know what this ammunition, I know what this full metal jacket is going to do in this gun that I'm carrying. So that's why I'm choosing to use this ammunition. I know it's reliable. And this is the ammunition that I practice with, and I have in my mind that, hey, there's a good chance that I might miss, you know, and I have to take that into consideration. I have to, you know, only take shots that I believe are safe. In terms of if I miss my threat, there's nothing standing behind my threat, you know, and maybe there's other options besides returning fire, like moving, staying behind cover, you know, waiting for the right opportunity, right? So let's say you have a threat out there that's basically just sending bullets at you, right? You know, maybe the right thing for you to do is stay behind cover, right? And let the threat come to you, right? Because if you're behind cover and he can't shoot you, if he's dead set on trying to kill you, what he's gonna do is he's gonna move. He's gonna try and change his angle and come around to some place where he can get a better angle at you. So by him moving, right, now he's done your job, right? So instead of you having to move, he's moved, and now you can take your safe shot. Okay, so a couple of things for you guys to think about, and by no means am I saying don't carry hollow points, or am I saying don't carry full metal jacket, or am I saying carry full metal jacket or carry hollow points? I'm giving you guys a bunch of things to consider and think about and make your own decisions, okay? But as far as the penetration factor that keeps coming up, right? I've seen plenty of tests where the hollow points penetrate more than is expected. First of all, with the hollow points, the way they expand is they expand when they hit liquid, okay? The body being 80% liquid. That's why you can shoot them through, let's say, a windshield. They don't expand until they hit flesh, which is made out of liquid. So here's the thing. When the clothes that you're wearing, right, when the bullets pass through, if a piece of fabric gets caught up in that hollow spot, right, you're not going to get the expansion that you're expecting. Okay, so that's why you can't depend on the hollow points to expand. You can't depend on you putting every single bullet that you fire on target. You have to consider all the other possibilities. So thanks for watching. If you're not a member of the channel, subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notification of the new videos I put up. I'll talk to you all soon.